Hey guys, Garrett here, and today is part 2 of how I mortgaged my house to buy stocks. About 4 years ago, I started my home build project. I actually built my house myself. I made a bunch of videos giving you tips and tricks along the way. So if that's something you guys are thinking of doing, make sure to check out those videos. But after we were done with it, we paid cash to build this house and kind of ended up realizing that we had way too much cash just sitting there doing nothing for us. So we decided to suck a little bit of that cash out of the house in the form of a mortgage and put it to work. Earlier this year, the house appraised for $600,000, and we went ahead and took $200,000 out to invest into the market. We definitely could have done more, but that was what we were comfortable with. Plus, you got to realize it's not just me making these decisions. My wife has a big say in it too, and I want to make sure that she's comfortable with it too. So it's just $200,000. It's basically 1/3 of the home's value, and we are definitely not doing any sort of margin or anything like that. If you are new to my channel, welcome, and make sure to subscribe so that you get to follow this really cool series as I go along. I took out a 30-year mortgage on my house, and I'm going to make monthly videos showing you how I got it into the market, all of that money, and what it's doing. The goal with this money is to get it invested into the market in some really high quality common stocks, preferred stocks, as well as baby bonds. Everything is going to put out a dividend, and the purpose is to have those dividends make my monthly mortgage payment. And at the end of the 30 years, the goal is that the portfolio value is worth more than $0. If it is, then this whole experiment was a success. As I said before, I borrowed $200,000 from the bank at 3.125%. Now, that didn't actually give me $200,000 of cash to be able to put in, but once you deducted all the closing fees and the different fees associated with getting the loan, I ended up having $197,460 and change left over to actually put into the market to get to work. This leaves me with a monthly mortgage payment of $856.75. So again, these dividends need to equal at least that mortgage payment. I closed the loan in May, and therefore my first mortgage payment was actually July 1st. So up to this point, I have made 5 mortgage payments so far, and that has cost $4,283.75, of which $1,689 of that has gone to principal in the house itself. As I mentioned in my last video, at that point I was a little over $29,000 invested into the market, and I also had $15,000 invested in a 1-year note at 8% in Ground Floor, and that's a crowdsourced funding for real estate flippers and investors. Since my last video, I was able to get another $8,560 and change invested into the market. Just before the election, we had a pretty nice little dip, so I bought a few stocks at least at a discount. And these are the stocks that I bought, some of which I had already had and I just added to my position. Others I went ahead and added that were new as well. So again, they range from common stock to preferred stock to baby bonds as well. So if you add up all the stocks so far that I have bought with this pot of money, it comes up to $38,190.87, and it puts out an annual dividend of $2,975.02. So to put that in perspective, if you divide that by 12, it gives me $247.92 per month. That goes towards my mortgage payment. Also remember, I have that Ground Floor note that's $15,000 at 8% for a year. Well, it's paying $100 per month. So if you add the two of those together, I'm up to $347.92 per month of my mortgage covered thus far. So my total invested at this point is $53,190.87, and that represents 26.9% of the available cash that I can put into the market or investments. Since I have $347.92 coming in per month of dividend, that actually represents 40.61% of my mortgage that's covered so far. So again, 26.9% of the money is at work, and it covers 40.61% of my mortgage payment. So far we're doing pretty darn well. Grant you, I'm still not anywhere close to 100% invested, nor do I have 100% of my mortgage covered. So at the moment, I am operating at a loss, but I'm hoping in the next few months to get a heck of a lot more invested and make sure that I cover that. One good thing that I did do in the very beginning was I actually spread this money out into several different accounts, not only between my name but in my wife's name as well. And the reason I did that was because they were offering bonuses if you put money in their brokerage accounts. So I had 4 different brokerage accounts that I would spread the money between, and I would get bonuses if I put a certain amount of money in place. So at this point, I have $700 that they gave me just because I put a certain amount of money into it. So that by itself almost covers a month of mortgage payment. Another interesting thing is to look and see how the stocks have actually performed. And at this point, of the $38,000 that I have invested, it's up about $2,500 as far as the overall value. Now, honestly, that's not important to me. I kind of don't care where it sits, but it's just kind of fun to track to see where it is. Again, at the end of this, for this to be a success, I need to have more than $0 at the end of this in overall value. So to see that so far it has come up is great, but again, it doesn't matter. I'm just buying shares and I am buying dividends so that I can get monthly payments as I go. As I mentioned before, I have 26.9% of the money invested, but it's covering 40.61% of my payment. So when everything is invested, assuming I do it pretty much equally across a lot of these stocks, or I add very similar stocks along the way, I should end up getting more dividends than my payment. So the intent with that is just to keep reinvesting it in high quality stocks or preferreds. So in theory, at the end of this, my portfolio should be pretty sizable, but there's no guarantees. Stocks can cut their dividends. Some of these that I have are actually baby bonds, and they will have a maturity date, assuming that that company pays that off, at which time I'm going to have to invest in more and more stocks, preferreds, or baby bonds. But regardless, it's just kind of a fun thing to do, to see how it works and if it works, and you guys get to see it from the very beginning. So make sure you subscribe down below so that you get to come along this journey, and hit that like button. I'll see you guys next time.